Hello Simracers, James here. I'm happy to share that I've changed ecosystem from the Fanatec DD1 and the Formula V2 rim with the advanced panel module to the Simagic Alpha Mini direct drive wheelbase and the Simagic GT Neo 300mm GT wheel. As you can see, all good looking equipment. You can see there's the Formula V2. There's the GT Neo. Let's have a look at the size comparison between the two wheelbases. So the Fanatec DD1 is a pretty big beast, certainly compared to the Simagic Alpha Mini. So I'll just rotate this around so you can see side on a little bit more clearly the difference in size. So there is quite a lot of weight packed into the Simagic Alpha Mini in that small box. It's a pretty dense, yeah, quite a lot of weight still. But the Fanatec DD1 is a lot bigger. You'll see when I turn it frontal view. You see the size difference there, guys. I will say that I'm happy with definitely happy with the packaging of the Simagic, the wheel, and the Alpha Mini, and what's included with the kit as standard. I'll just move those off to the side. See, I've got the Simagic mag link there to fit to the back of the GT Neo wheelbase because it connects via USB. I've got the mag link as well. There we go. So here's the Fanatec DD1 power supply. And then as I do my best to try and drop this on the floor, you can see the difference in size. The Simagic power supply. See, the Simagic Alpha Mini's got a smaller Newton meter torque output, so obviously it depends, you know, what torque setting you want as to how much juice it demands from the power socket. But yeah, pretty big difference in the base size, and then a big difference in the power supply size as well. And one thing Simagic are definitely happy at doing is sending a lot of stickers with the wheelbase and the GT Neo wheel, as you'll see in a moment. Got plenty of stickers, guys. If you're into that, here we go. Plenty of stickers. And also they include Allen key and the different size bolts so you can mount the wheelbase to your rig, which I was impressed with. And here's the stickers for the wheel. As yet not fitted, need to decide where I want to fit those. No rush. Give you some tweezers as well to fit the stickers as well, which is good. There's the bag where the bolts and the Allen key came for the wheelbase. Yeah, it's just very much a plug and play wheelbase. Definitely impressed, guys, with setting this up on my rig. So just a side-by-side comparison now between the Fanatec V2 wheel rim with the advanced paddle module and the GT Neo. You can see the size difference. You feel it more when it's in your hand, to be honest. The difference in size just feels like you should be driving the GT Neo in a GT car, the 300mm size. There's the advanced paddle module and the original QR1 quick release on the back of the Formula V2. That quick release has since been bettered by Fanatec, admittedly, but yeah, prepared to do the QR2 upgrade. And I wanted the 300mm wheels, so when I saw this on various people's streams, I thought I'm having that. Placed the pre-order, so I'm definitely happy with this. And the buttons and the funky switches have got a nice feel to them, as have the encoders. Yep, you can see the rev lights there where they be, and the Simagic logo. And then on the back, I've got the quick QR that comes with it, and then there's the USB connection. You can see in the background I've got the mag link boxed at £22 from Race Anywhere in the UK. Got together with this new equipment on Monday this week. So yeah, I've got that to fit. It's on my to-do list. Just have one last look at the wheel, guys. All right, let's do some driving. Right, guys, here I am at Imola in ACC for the first time since November. I've just loaded a setup. It's got yeah, dated November last year, so that's quite a few months ago. So I've got a brand new Simrig, the PROSIMRIG PSR3 Simrig, the Alpha Mini wheelbase, and a brand new wheel as well. And the Fanatec V3 pedals are now mounted at a different angle, different distance, and my FOV changed, so I've changed everything all at once. So I've got quite a bit of driving practice I need to do to try and find my form of pace. But on screen I've got the Simagic Pro Manager software where you can, well, load and edit profiles for your wheel and pedals, even if a shifter, etc. If you had a shifter, handbrake. I don't have those, the latter, but what I've done is I've loaded the, if you go into games, you can see here it's got ACC, got a default base preset. Okay, so if I go into edit, what I'm going to do is, already seen it's 80%, I'll change this to 90 of 10 Newton meters, which is what this wheelbase is, the torque 10 Newton meters. Also I can spot here now that this, the Mclaren, is 480, so if you don't change that, the wheel won't be 1-to-1 in ACC. You can also do a soft lock as well, so that's just changed, so you can literally have the wheel lock to stop any scrubbing of the tyres, or maybe for preference. So I'll just have them the same, 480 degrees of steer rotation, and the hard lock 480 as well. You can also choose the limit strength, but I'll just leave that on normal. So what I'm going to do is just save this now. All I've done is change that from 80 to 90%, not change the other settings. So you can save by game category and then add tags. So if I do, if I just save this as ACC 720S Evo 90% force feedback, and then let's get straight into it, guys. This is my very first driving using the Simagic wheel and wheelbase, and my brand new Simrig and new pedal position and monitor position. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit strange for my eyes. Coming back to ACC, I've mapped some of the buttons, so to hopefully I've got the MFD the way that I like it. There we go. I can right, let's just see what this is like. Just do an out lap and then do one more lap. So my PB on this track's actually on the Series X consoles a long time ago. It was a 1:41.330, I think, from memory. So not amazingly fast, but ACC on PC says my PB's a 1:42.080, so that's the fastest I've run on console, on PC in the McLaren, and about the same in the BMW as well. But that was a long time ago. Yeah, this does feel nice, nice and smooth. So I've changed the caster to the maximum in this car, 16.2 I think it is. 16.2, 16.3. It's the way I prefer it. Just running a setup that I ran apparently in November. So last time I drove this track in any sim. So I don't expect to be getting in the 141s. Plus, I seem to remember this track is one where it takes a while to get into the groove, so to speak. This does feel nice. Oh yeah, this feels really quite smooth. Let's just deliberately drive over a little bit too much of that last corner curb. So the tyre pressure should be okay because I had it set up for 16 Celsius and this is 21 I think. Yeah, 21. So I'm going to be nice to try and get into the 142s, to be honest. Not been here since it's November now. We're in a long time ago. Well, I'm impressed with the 300mm wheel as well. The size of the wheel just feels like I'm driving. Not to disrespect the Formula V2 wheel that I've had for about 3 years. It does feel more like a toy. This feels like the size of a wheel you should be using for a GT car. Definitely prefer the bigger wheel, based on first impressions anyway. So the wheel's nice and solid as well, well built. Need to start tinkering with a race lab to customise the LEDs. I can't remember my braking point there. How late or early I should be braking, how much speed I should be going through that chicane. It's definitely a track where it takes me quite a few laps to get down to the sort of times I think I should be able to run. Just try and not head into the kitty litter. into the gravel. Probably end up being a couple of seconds away from 141s. There we go, that'll do. 42.955. That does feel nice. Yeah, the wheel does feel nice. I like it in my hands. Right guys, here I am at Spa, my very first drive in LMU on any track with the new equipment. So let's see what I think compared to the Fanatec DD1. So I've got the Simagic Pro Manager open again. I've already loaded the default. It was set to I think 70%. I've changed it to 90%. So yeah, I've just saved it as GT 90%. Not made any of the changes. Just left the rotation at 900 and the hard lock at 900. They seem to match unless you want to change the second one, the latter. Your own choice. And then in LMU I've got the force feedback at 80, which is what I had it at on most car classes in the LMU. So I've set it to 10 Newton meters, 80%. I had the smoothing on at 4 before, so I've just left that at 4 for the DD1. So let's get straight to it guys in the Porsche RSR. I'm running on one screen here, so when I race on triples, but for the sake of this video I'm doing on one screen, so my FOV won't be what I'm used to, shall we say. I've mapped some of the buttons. Quite sure I've got them the way that I want them at the moment, but see if this works, if I can actually, yeah, do this. There we go. Turn the TC off, guys. Make it a little bit more fun for me, especially on cold tyres. Yeah, so my very first drive this is. As you can see, I'm just trying to get a feel for the wheel before I take Rouge Rally on for the very first time. Let's have a little bit of a lift. A little bit of a lift on cold tyres. Survive. I've got the engine map. Oh goodness, that's the speed limiter. I've mapped quite a few things. Sorry guys, I'm trying to change the qualifying mode. I think I've mapped something for that. Oh, I know what it'll be. There we go. So map the regen and the motor. Okay, the curbing just flashed there. Bit of an aside. The curbing just flashed white. So I've never seen that before. Some anti-aliasing issue. It was strange. But yeah, I've mapped the wheel for the preempting driving the hypercars, the motor and the regeneration. So that doubles as changing the motor map on the GT cars. Oh yeah, the FOV is definitely a little bit different than what I'm used to, but yeah, this force feedback, to focus on that, this does feel smooth. You see, it's early days, guys. Just drive over the curb, see what that feels like. Just aim for this curb. See what that feels like as well. I'll do one lap. So this is the out lap. So I'm not expecting to get anywhere near the times I've gone before. I think it'll take me a week or two to get near the times I was doing before on the old rig and old wheelbase, and old Formula V2 wheels, all changed. So I've changed it all at once. Even my distance to the screen's changed by over 10 centimeters. So it's yeah. The things to get used to. Okay, never mind. This definitely won't be a quick lap. Okay, that was yeah, maybe a bit too heavy-footed there with a TC0 with no practice. I'll try to see if I can actually go flat this time. Keep it valid. No Rouge Rally on. Definitely not the quickest. Be a couple of kilometres an hour quicker there. It's the white line across the track. Anyway, never mind. Let's see what I think of this. I'm only going down to second gear here. It's been a while since I've been on this track. A couple of weeks, I think, something like that. So just everything's changed. The angle of the pedals. I'm happy with the distance, but yeah. Trying to replicate kind of what I had before with the pedals there. obviously the equipment stayed the same on the pedal front, but everything else has changed, so definitely do like the 300mm wheel though. You might be able to tell on the camera, guys, I've turned up the brightness on the wheel, had it turned down. I think you can use the keyboard to adjust it as well, and the mouse in the Simagic software, but it's on 50%. The LEDs are on 50% now. Just realised that when I was driving ACC, that was only on the minimum. Tinkering with the software yesterday. Didn't have any time to do any driving though, so call it a day after this lot. See if I can actually get through the bus stop without any car wanting to exit stage right or left for that matter. But it does feel nice. I'm going to be slow, going to be nowhere lap time wise. PB's a 2:15.1, so 2.2 seconds off my PB. Right, so what I will do is I will, for the sake of this video guys, I will jump in a hypercar. Let's maybe go with the Porsche, and then last but not least, here I am in LMU at Monza, my very first drive in any car, any hypercar that is. So I've not driven the hypercar anywhere other than Le Mans twice, once in a multiplayer and once in single player a week or so ago. So that summarises my hypercar experience. So basically what I've done is I've loaded up the Sim Pro Manager profile, the default profile, and increased the force feedback strength to 90%. Of 10 Newton meters, and then in game, because the hypercars tend to be a little bit weaker from what I've read and experienced at Le Mans, I've increased the force feedback strength in game to 90% of 10 Newton meters. So yeah, this is going to be my very first driving, guys, of a hypercar outside of my two experiences of Le Mans. So try and see what the force feedback's like. Definitely loving the 300mm wheel though, the GT Neo. It's a good looking wheel as well. Right, so just default setup. I think I've got yeah, got the motor map and the regen maps on the wheel. Should go without saying, guys, I've got no idea where to brake on this track. It's blue tyres at the moment, not like the moment with there's no tyre warmers here. Only on the Mans, only on the lawn track you have the tyre warmers, so a proper outlap of these cars are driving on ice. Well, the force feedback feels nice. Definitely smooth. Like, again, I don't know where to brake in these cars because the extra speed compared to the GT cars that, yeah. So I've driven the LMP2 car back in February around launch time, so I've never driven one of the hypercars. So probably just showed it. Just give me a chance to test out the force feedback while I'm in the kitty litter. Oh well. So I'm just trying to see if there's any. I don't have tiny pedal running. Trying to see if there's any force feedback flipping, but because I'm just on the single screen, I've not loaded up the tiny pedal plugin. Shows if you've got any force clipping of the force feedback signal. So I've set it to 90% of the 10 Newton meters. This does feel quite nice. Definitely smooth. DD1 does not, based on the experience so far, limited experience in ACC and the GT Spa, and now this. Just drive over the curve deliberately. Yeah, definitely impressed with this, guys. Let's just see what buttons I'm at. Well, I guess I need to brake around the 150. How to make the apex. And it upsetting the driver steward as well. Come on. Yes, I'm absolutely loving the GT Neo wheel. And obviously the goes without saying the wheelbase that's attached to it. The Alpha Mini. So I'm not at the moment. I've changed so many things, you know, with the wheel, the wheelbase, the brand new PROSIMRIG wheel, aluminium profile Simrig, position of my feet, the angle of my feet, the FOV's changed, so the wheel and the wheelbase has changed. And so, and this is my very first experience of Monza in a hypercar, and the two former clips are my very first driving in LMU. So yeah. It's going to take me a week or so to try and get up to speed again, guys. So this lap's already invalid anyway. But whatever it would have been if it was a clean lap, it would have been a PB for me because it would be my very first lap. Just do one more, but there's been one of the short tracks. So what's this going to be? Surely it would have been under a 1:40 if it was valid. So Paul de Resta, the Flying Scotsman, the AI, I think the AI is set to 90 or 95% from memory. When I drove at Le Mans, Paul de Resta, the Flying Scotsman, has done a 37.1. I've just invalidated in the same place. Oh, never mind. I think it's the kind of lack of force feedback, so to speak, compared to when the car's loaded aerodynamically. Yeah. So I still want second gear there, not first. Yeah, you can see, guys, wants to be authentic. It's the very first driving of a hypercar on this track. Should be able to get the car stopped really and get around some of these corners. Oh well, I won't be setting a PB because 2 invalid laps. An out lap and 2 invalid laps. Fortunately, because I've invalidated, I don't have a delta. Nothing on the steering wheel either, in terms of yeah, just so it takes some practice to try and find some speed in these cars. Yeah, I think I need to adjust my pedals to be a little bit closer. Might only be a centimetre, but I feel like I'm overreaching the brake pedal, stretching a little bit too much. So yeah, I've got no idea what time that would have been. Let's call it a day, guys. So and then end this video with a summary of my thoughts. Right, guys, in summary, I'm very impressed with the GT Neo wheel and the Alpha Mini wheelbase. Yeah, what a purchase. Obviously I've come from having near 3 years on the Fanatec DD1 with the Formula V2 rim with the advanced panel module. Now, yeah, basically saw the chance to switch ecosystem, shall we say. I've still got the Fanatec V3 pedals, but you can see I've got the website in the background, so I'm already fairly tempted to change my pedals, but that might come in future. But just focusing on the wheel and the wheelbase, the actual, from the start, basically, the packaging that they provide is just really nice, you know, for the wheel and the wheelbase. The extras that they include, all the stickers, the tools for mounting the wheelbase, different length screws, Allen key, little simple things really. The software that I've got on the screen, the SimPro Manager, is so easy to use. When I first loaded it up, I had to update the firmware. It was just click and then it was done. The plug and play with ACC, you just have to remap my buttons. The same with LMU. The force feedback, I'm impressed with that. You can see I'm running it basically at 10 Newton meters in the different sims in the actual software, and then there's changing the gain in ACC. I think I had that at 60%, and then 90%, typically 80-90% in the actual software here, and then 80 or 90% in LMU, Le Mans Ultimate, depending on the GTE car or the hypercar. But as yet, as I've already touched on, guys, I've not changed any of these settings whatsoever. These are all the default. So the biggest one that stands out to me is the feedback detail is on the maximum. I've not delved into what little tooltip as to what that does, guys. You can see there. But yeah, basically the frequency, the inertia, the friction, mechanical damper, yeah, the maximum torque is all I've changed. Has gone with that for the different sims, ACC and LMU, and then tweaked this percentage here, and then set the degrees of rotation as well. Again, I've already mentioned a couple of times you can change the hard lock if you wanted to, and there's also a limit there. You can see select how firm the soft lock feels when maximum steering rotation is reached. So soft, I think, was the default, normal and firm. Showed you how you can just lower the base profile and just edit. So if I was to go into, say, AMS2 that I've not yet tried, in fairness, let's see if there's one here. No, actually, there we go. There is one. Not touched this yet, so you can just go straight into edit, and then you could just make your changes, and then you just do save. So this is so easy. It's already got this ticked. You can add tags just so you can find what you're looking for, because over time you may have driving 10 different sims or simcade sims depending on what you're playing, WRC, etc., iRacing, ACC, LMU, but you can give it a name, and then you can easily just choose it in the pick list and then edit to your heart's content. Fine tuning. Here's the wheel tab, guys. Again, so you can see the first ACC driving I did at Imola, I had it on the minimum. So if I, like now with this touched, I've used my right arrow, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see the wheels just lit up on the camera. And then you can just hold the arrow. Obviously, use the mouse as the preference. Let's go to the top, actually. Let's just go to 100%. You see the difference on the camera, guys? And then back down to 50. And then back down to the minimum, which is 4 clicks, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's like the minimum. Wait for that to come back. That's the minimum. And then, obviously, I'm not in a fully dark room at the moment, guys, but it's quite bright, quite effective as well. There's lots of settings you can change in here as well. I've not tinkered with these. There's one called, is it gone now? One of these screens has got another preset. It's got another name. I'm going to find it briefly. Wheel preset. Here we go. Yeah, GT Neo Fantasy. So there's the default, and then there's a fantasy. Let's go into that. So that's maximum brightness. I'm not sure what other changes there are with that profile. And at the moment, I haven't touched on. I have got the mag link to fit. I'm just connected via USB, which I can just take the wheel. You've probably seen another video, guys. There we go. The wheel's in my hand. The USB cable's plenty long. It's just under my Simrig. So on the back, I've got to take this off and then install the mag link. And then just to put this back on again, you just need to align it up with the six sort of ball bearings on the top and the 4 on the bottom. But yeah, the quick release is so much better than what I had on the Fanatec. Obviously, it was the original QR1. It's absolutely rock solid. Yeah, that is a definite pro. Now, yeah, so the force feedback is smooth. It's plenty strong enough for myself. I'm not the heaviest. I don't go to the gym, so people may want to go with the Alpha or even the Ultimate, depending on what you want. But based on what I've seen online, this has been tested to like a peak 12, 13 Newton meters. Obviously, in the software, you can only set it to 10. In the likes of LMU and other sims, you can increase the gain above 100%. So you may then obviously encounter clipping, which ideally you want to avoid in any sim, but it might give you the feeling that you want. So it's a bit of it might be something that you're prepared to accept in some sims if you want, more from your sim, more weight on your wheel. And obviously you can change the caster, as I do in ACC, to give you a little bit more weight, along with the gain as well. But yeah, the only negative I have, as I said, I've mentioned the positive. The only negative I have is where my thumbs are here. You can see, guys, even without gloves, I've felt it. So if I take my Alpine Star mountain bike gloves off, so this is something I'll probably, because I have got a callus from Simracing, but not because of this, just something I've had for a long time. This area is a little bit where your thumbs rest. The wheel is really nice to use with and without gloves, but here I'm not sure how that will unfold in time, whether or not I get used to it, my thumbs get used to it, because I'm not exactly pushing on that area, but it seems to be a little bit very slightly uncomfortable. I think I did mention, I did see that Jardier mentioned that somewhere in one of his streams. But yeah, the wheel is amazing, guys. Yeah, the 300mm versus the 270 V2, the quick release, the options with the lights. You can see I've not put on the stickers as yet, guys. I want to decide how to do that. But the use of the encoders, etc., the thumb encoders is definitely improved over the Formula V2. While they're still quite easy to turn, they're not so easy to turn that you could just touch them with your gloves and move them very easily, which is definitely one of my negative points for the Formula V2. So yeah, I need to basically do some driving now, and because obviously, as I say, I've changed everything, guys. The pedals are the same, but they're in a completely different angle and height. The seat's obviously in a different height on a new Simrig. Got the new wheel that as I say, I'm very happy with. It's just that little slight negative, but that may turn out to be a mute point as I get used to it. The shifters I like the shifters as well. Definitely the dual clutch, very nice to use, similar to the Fanatec. But yeah, mainly the size of this compared to the 270mm and the smoothness of the force feedback are big positives so far. Say some people may prefer stronger wheels, but yeah, I will see how I go with this. So see you in the next one, guys. If you can like and subscribe, it would be appreciated. Take care. Bye.